Oh boy, here he is. Oh no, not rank reset on the PTB. Get this set up over on the Twitch. For all those weirdos over there that like to be cringe lords. Like Neon. What's up, Neon? God, I'm caps locked. It's over. Everything I've ever worked for was a lie. Because you guys want to give me any Tokyo Ghoul builds. Do it that way. The Ghoul. It's true. It is the Ghoul, isn't it? But here's the thing. The algorithm isn't as cool when you type in the Ghoul as opposed to Tokyo Ghoul. It's all about that delicious, delicious algorithm. Alright, so we're trying out some new add-ons. We got survivors affected by the Kagune mark are afflicted with the Oblivious status effect. And upon entering in rage mode, reveals the auras of any healthy survivors repairing generators for 8 seconds. And the idea here is that we're going to try to slug people to death on the PTB and act like somehow that makes us cool. Is everyone down? Good. What the heck did I just turn off? Okay. Yeah, you literally beat me to my own comment. Algorithm, smelgorithm, cringe is universal. Good t-shirt, eh? Happy Thursday. How's it going, Dozy? Or should I say who's on? Wonder what kind of matchmaking times we're looking at. Either way, we have some Bubba. You know what we don't need though? We don't need this guy making weird noises the entire time, do we? Let's just go ahead and mute him. Cozy time. There you go. Oh, I accidentally clicked on it. Yeah. Good to see you live. Much appreciated. Hey, a little bit of Wiener Dredge. I haven't seen Wiener Dredge in a while. Have I tried Balatro Choi? Balatro Choi. Voss? Third seal is still there for slugging. They didn't take it into consideration, but yeah, let's delete knockout. I considered putting third seal in this build, but I went with dominance instead because I'm a little curious. It's a perk I haven't messed with much, and my ultimate goal here is really to try to protect blood favor and crowd control as much as I can, because as long as crowd control and blood favor are up, this killer is an absolute demon. And dominance, it's a bit of an awkward perk. I don't really know if survivors know the best play yet, like, because you have to wait 16 seconds for the perk to get unblocked. So it's not a perk you pretty much ever run into, right? So like, what do you do? Your name is Choi. Hey, you never know. Maybe there's a game out there called Balatro Choi. Who could ever know? But no, I haven't heard of it. It's been a while since I played a poker game. Troy, I don't know if you see my reply on Twitter, but I'd love to see a video from you discussing the whole Oni flick issue from a controller player's perspective. I also have an idea for a solution to implement it to console. Well, like, the thing is, right, is from what I understand, Oni, like, they put a hard limit on how much you can turn with Oni. It's not like, it's intentional that you cannot do a 90-degree angle when you swing. And PC players basically found a way to swing further than you're allowed to, which it's like, okay, if that's how you want to go about it, that's fine. But to just say, well, we're not going to let controller players do that, we're going to keep that same cap on them, but not have it for PC players, it's just very odd. And it doesn't even get into the accessibility aspect of it. Like, you have to have, I'm assuming you have to have a certain frame rate to even pull it off. I haven't tested it, but like I would imagine. So there's that, and then there's like I said, accessibility. Like, not everybody's going to be able to do the necessary insane movement you need to do with your arm on a keyboard and mouse to pull that off too. So it's just weird because it's like having Tombstone Myers in the game, but only PC players can use like the insta kill, you know. It's it changes up the way you play as Survivor completely. Like, does he have Tombstone? Doesn't he have Tombstone? Do I need to jump in a locker? Like, it creates all these issues. Like, it just needs to be standardized. If you're gonna be able to turn that much with Oni, everyone should be able to do it because it's a super important part of the character. You know, if not everybody can do it, then it's not like a skill issue, it's a hardware issue. And to like boast your ego over that is pretty cringe. Newell, much appreciated for becoming a cringe lord. Get on in. Going on a ride to Cringe Town.
Just became a cringe lord.
Much appreciated. Have I played Marvel Rivals at all? I played it a bit when it came out, yeah. I never played like competitive or anything, but I had fun just like messing around. Here's my Prime. Prime is the way to go. Much appreciated, wieners. I also comment on every entitled Twitter post, but oh, this will kill the killer in comp, so will the upcoming changes. See. What's the point of playing Oni if we have Billy who's having his power 24/7? I mean, Oni is just cool, you know? I think he's just cool. I think like he's one of the coolest killers in the entire game. It's just, he's so like, he's so restricted on controller. It's a bummer. Rivals has a setting called Max Dead Zone Sensitivity Boost that gives you a big boost of turning speed once you reach the max. It's how Black Panther is playable on console. I think a similar setting would do wonders for DVD and controller. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that like people are acting like it's a skill issue again, and it's not. It's just that like the devs could easily make the ability work on controller if they, you know, put a little effort into it. But they simply just don't do it because it's always been an exploit. Right, like people like to call techs exploits to like get around the fact that it's an exploit, and it's kind of cringe, you know. It would be like getting on the house, on top of the house in Friday the 13th and calling it house tech. Like, it's like it quite literally is an exploit that you're doing. It's just one that the devs have considered not to be problematic, but I disagree. I think it's problematic that there's like, if it was everybody could do it, I'd say fair enough, but since everybody can't do it, it's a bit dumb. especially keeping it in the game for as many years as they have. What has it been, like 5 years since Oni came out? House tech, I hated that shit. Yeah, back before they got rid of team killing, if I saw any of my teammates go on the roof, I would just shotgun them. They would get so upset. Like, screw you, dude. We're just trying to have fun. No one needs you to be a nerd here. Hide on the roof for 20 minutes every match. You'll carry me in rivals. What's up, should how maybe? I'd love for your thoughts to be out there on this in video format if you're planning on doing that. I'd love a video to point to people to understand my POV because our perspective is identical. Yeah, and one of the weird things is that I've only gotten 2 counterpoints to really what I'm saying. And the first one is people will just tell me they misunderstand me and they think I want the tech removed, but I don't want the tech removed. I just want it to be standardized so that everybody can do it. That's like would be my position on it. So there's that. So people will be like, bro, like they shouldn't get rid of it. You should just, you know, they should just have it on both. And it's like, yeah, I agree with that. That's literally my point. The other thing that people will tell me is they'll say L take bro. I've gotten about 50 L take bros, and an L take bro, in my opinion, is when somebody doesn't actually have any kind of argument against what you're saying, but they emotionally they disagree with you, and since they can't rationally disagree with you, they go to the L take bro, and then they never elaborate on it. And if you try to like call them out on it, they'll just, you know, try to twist your words and straw man you. Like they will never address it directly. Yeah, I saw that. So they couldn't make the ghoul how they wanted to make him because the coding of the game is basically a grounded game. So they can't have like killers that fly around or anything like that. You would think they would have, you know, maybe looked into that while they were transferring the game from Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 5 or whatever it was, but I guess not. So now we're just, I mean, I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world, but it does seem to like limit them in more ways than maybe they'd like. But you get into some really like hairy issues with like map design and stuff when you get into flying killers. Like, how do you want like a flying killer to work on Hawkins or something? It doesn't really make sense. You could have like I think someone said it all started because somebody said they should add a killer with a grappling gun. What's up, Astral? And they're like, oh, well, our game's not built for verticality, but I think that you can do verticality in a static way. A grappling gun doesn't have to have like physics involved in it, really. For example, like say you're on Hawkins and you want to go to the 3rd floor, and there's that little hole in the ground that the survivors always love to drop down in. Like maybe you could have a killer or that has a grappling gun and can like you know, shoot up to the top and like rappel up it or something. It doesn't have to be so ridiculous. What is queue time? We've been streaming for 15 minutes and I haven't found a match yet, so I'll keep you posted. Yeah, keyboard and mouse isn't the issue at all. It's that like I play on PC, an insanely good PC as well, and I still prefer to use controller when I play Dead by Daylight. It's just is what it is. It's kind of wild they're changing that aspect of Oni while giving the surrender option on slugging. Poor Oni. Poor Oni. Have you found any good perk synergy with the ghoul's power? Right now, I think potentially the build I have here, at least with crowd control and blood favor, is insanely strong. And if you can manage to keep blood favor and crowd control up with undying and dominance, or maybe you could swap dominance out for thrill, Yeah, I think you have a disgusting build here, to be honest, because I don't think there's a killer that like you get basically free injures instantly in a chase, kind of like Legion. But unlike Legion, you're able to catch back up to the person after you hit them really, really fast. So with Blood Favor and crowd control, you're going to be limiting their options significantly. You're basically turning the entire map into a dead zone while you're Spider-Man, and that's gonna be very high pressure for them if they don't get those totems like destroyed. But yeah, the thing is once those totems get destroyed, you're gonna be in a bit of a rough spot. Always the unfortunate part with hexes. It is indeed there. I believe I have the game like marked out right now. If I was in it, you'd hear it. He's very loud in the lobby, so I just decided to escape that. What's this one working? Engine isn't built for verticality. Honestly, sounds like a cop-out to have an excuse to be lazy. They're using Unreal. They can make it do whatever they want if they really want. Not like it's some super limiting proprietary engine solely for the basis of DBD. Yeah, very true. It's like the same thing when everybody wanted the replay feature added to the game that like every other modern game has, especially like a 9-year-old games as a service game. It's like they're like, it's too difficult. It would take too much time to implement a replay feature. Guys, like, stop being so lazy. I think DBD's age-old spaghetti code is showing, since a lot of killers can feel same-ish now and how they reuse the same crap throat animation. I don't know if that has to do with the spaghetti code or if it's just them like being lazy again, because when they upgraded to Unreal Engine 5, like it goes from like C coding to like node, like nodes. So I don't think that should really be like an issue, because they kind of had to recode the entire game in a like a way more structured way to do that, if I'm understanding like the engine correctly. I'm doing well, Sawyer. I'm doing well. I'd be doing better if Red Dead Online still got updates though, that's for sure. Controller is better on Survivor because it doesn't limit you to 4 button movements, but on Killer it is just better to use mouse and keyboard, otherwise you'll get spun a lot. Can happen, yeah. I mean, if I think I'm frame rate impacts getting spun quite a bit too. Like if you're playing like 60 FPS or under, you're gonna get spun way more. It would take months or years to learn a search bar. They can't code colorblind feature. Yeah, they'll say like anything if they don't want to do it. They always make up an excuse. But with behavior, it really feels like, especially recently, that like the left hand has no idea what the right hand is doing. What's up, Herman? Is this the new S tier killer? He's S tier unless you go to an indoor map. Then he's gutter tier. I need to spend some blood points on him though, don't I? I haven't heard his music yet because, yeah. According to the Take-Two CEO, an investor call or something last summer, RDO is still supposed to be getting updates. Oh my god. Do they count those, like, stupid posts they do as updates to the game? Like, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend, and we're doing double XP and some stupid bow nobody's ever heard of, and all outfits that are green are 50% discounted. Like, oh, there's your update, guys. You heard mixed things about him being a hybrid between like Wesker and Legion. There was another killer that I kind of felt like he was very similar to. Who was it? Blight. He's like, I feel like he's more like Blight. Imagine if Blight couldn't down you. But he could put you in like a deep wound. When he hits you while you're injured. Like that's kind of like the more of the direction I would go in with him. Yeah, Alien feels, I never liked Alien, so I don't feel like I have that much authority on it, but the flamethrowers felt awful, and the fact that you have the fire effect on your screen the entire time is like so dumb. Like you can just tell it's super half-baked. And I watched a like thing from Mr. Headache, and he basically said the same thing that I think a lot of people immediately thought when they played it, which is that like it legitimately feels like somebody at Behavior was, I don't know, playing Survivor, had a bad experience against Xenomorph, and then like immediately stormed into the office like pissed off and made those changes from like a Survivor's point of view. Well, these queues are cooking, huh? That's what happens when they don't add a new Survivor. Like, there's nothing here really for Survivor. Like, you think someone wants to get on the PTB to try out Quick and Quiet? Like, the only thing they want to do is play against the new killer, so... Oh, that's a hard one. I heard that, like, what updates? And then, because sure shit isn't going to happen once GTX 6 comes out. Hey, you know, you never know. Rockstar just, I'd say started a new company in Australia, but I think they just bought a company there and rebranded it Rockstar Australia, so maybe Rockstar Australia does Red Dead Online updates. That would be pretty nice, wouldn't it? I mean, it's already kind of nuts that they have such an incredible IP and they do nothing with it. But they designed Alien? I mean, somebody... I honestly feel like Alien's original design is completely uninspired. So, I don't know. I don't even really know if the dev who... Like, I don't know how it all works really behind the scenes. Like, is the guy who designs the killer the same guy who has to make the final decision about rebalancing those killers later on, or is that a different team? A lot of questions. Probably. Gotta keep those GTA Online updates coming. Lentos. Be nice if we got a match. Matchmaking's worse right now than it was yesterday. I still can't get over the idea of their anti-slugging features. Essentially, here's your free DC. Problem solved. That takes care of that one. Guys, I have a video coming out on this later where I go through all of the problems that DC penalty thing is going to cause. But like, here, let me just... Where is it? Let's go to this screen here. Got some gutter on the screen, who cares? Let's no, not dead. Okay. Let's just do this one. Okay, so like, if you look at this, it says that under the reasons the killer is allowed to DC, it says When no generator has been completed for 10 consecutive minutes, the killer can surrender without a disconnection penalty. So what they're saying right there, if you don't realize it, is what they're implementing this because of situations where the survivors will hide for 10 minutes and the killer is like, I can't find him, so they go, okay, I'm just going to DC, right? But what they have done here is they've incentivized survivors to hide for 10 minutes because the killer DCs, meaning that the survivors actually win the game. So if you hide for 10 minutes in rat and the killer decides, okay, this is stupid, I'm out of here, you're rewarding the survivors with a free win, even in a situation where it's maybe like a 2v1 or something, right? And there's only 2 of you left. You can literally hide out the game and win if the killer decides this is too stupid for me, I'm leaving. They've incentivized that. Now, it actually gets even like stupider too, because if you reverse this and you go, okay, there's going to be no generator completed for 10 minutes, right? No generator completed. You can work on a generator, but if one isn't completed, the match the killer can basically end the game if they for free. So imagine a killer is holding a 3-gen and you're, you know, bug biting it. You're trying to get the anti 3-gen mechanic to pop up and slow the game down or make it to where he can no longer regress the gens. If he's able to hold off those gens for 10 minutes and he's about to lose one, aka lose the game, instead of letting that happen, he can now surrender and cancel the match for everybody. So after all the effort of trying to like beat this killer who's playing in a super cringe way, the killer could just cancel the game out for everybody if they're gonna lose. Like they definitely do not think about these things at all when they're implementing they implemented it in such a lazy way. I mean, literally like the fastest way they could do it. Operation Health, Operation Diarrhea, honestly. Let's go back to some AFK. It's true. Probably can. And that last one about the dying state means slugging is stronger now. So they do what like when you hear dying state, what comes to mind? Because like to me, what comes to mind is being slugged, basically. But that's not how it works. The dying state counts as anything, basically. Like if you're getting carried by the killer, dying state. If you're on a hook, that means you're in the dying state. If you're slugged, that means you're in the dying state. So what that translates to is there will never be another end game basically ever again. As soon as the killer gets the fatal knockdown on a survivor, every survivor in the game can immediately surrender and just DC from the match, which means as a killer, you're left in a lobby with 4 bots or however many bots are left, and you have to go around hooking bots and cleaning up the match. And it's just like isn't that weird and dumb? Like I really don't like it. It reminds me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where like the victims will like open a gate or turn off the battery, and then like all the family players will just immediately DC because they keep their XP, and the only reason they're staying at that point would be to let the victims leave, right? They could just leave the match and bring all their XP with them. Why would they stick around to watch the enemy win? It's the same thing. Like you're de-incentivized from staying in the game. You just take your bag and leave, right? No, there will never be a full match ever again. I think a few months from now, every time you get to the end game as a killer and you win, all the survivors will surrender every single time. Like there will never be another you beat everybody and they're all there. They could wait for you in the end game to shit talk you, but like they're never gonna stay for just like the end game part of the game to find a full match. So like say there's 2 gens left, you have like 1 survivor dead, one survivor on a hook and you slug the other two. The second you slug the other two, the game's over. Like, everyone in the match is going to become a bot except you as the killer. So like the end game Mori, all that stuff kind of just going to become very frivolous, and it's also going to hurt solo queue as well, because let me give you an example. You're in solo queue, your whole team gets slugged, but you have unbreakable, right? So you're gonna stand up and you're gonna reset the game. But because your teammates are now able to instantly DC, they're all gonna leave before your unbreakable kicks in. So now your unbreakable is gonna kick in, and all your teammates have now DC'd on you with no penalty. So it just like leads to all these problematic issues that they could easily have worked around, but because they did it in this way, where it's just basically a reskinned version of being able to rage quit, they've allowed all these dumb issues to pop up. Slugging is always going to be against bots, but also just winning in general. The final blow will always immediately turn the last survivor into a bot. I'm fairly certain. Nobody's going to stick around. As soon as that checkmate moment happens, they're just going to go next instantly. Why would they stay? What's up, Vincent? It's gonna have like a really cheap effect. I tell you, it's gonna have a really cheap effect. Like, you're gonna be every match that like you're getting to the end of, you're gonna have to like see all the survivors DC, and it's gonna turn them into a bot and make that annoying noise like they DC'd. Holy moly, guys! It took 32 minutes to find a match. Let's go. I think it's exceptionally bad because it's the killer's really fun. So who knows? I love Knight, but I think I've become a Dracula main. I've been getting really good at the pounce noise. How does Ken feel on a controller? I like him. I think he works really well on a controller. It's indoor maps that are the problem, which is why I'm running sacrificial wards, because I don't want some asshole to bring me to like the game because he's like worthless. He won't be as hated as Legion. Legion is hated because it feels like he can keep the entire team injured all the time. This character is way more 1v1 focused than like Legion is 1v4 focused. Wow, that guy canceled my power. That was weird. Doesn't look like these guys want to play too seriously. That's not good. I don't know why that happened. Oh boy. Leave that person there to revive people. Not a tuna fish with a controller. Classic PTB, right? Unfortunately, no flavor. Let's just ignore the ridiculousness of the situation here. This is like what Low MMR Survivor is, by the way. Just people trolling constantly. Oh man. What a shame. How'd this work? She's up here, right? She couldn't get in the chest because of my bird. Kind of funny. Guys, well, I'd rather just... Hitting the QTE. Well, you know, they're up top and they just try to destroy my totem. What's this area where... Reset it, Michaela. Reset it. Do. No! Get out of here. You gotta play that at a time where it actually is funny. Dare you. Sacrilege, the bardic inspiration like that. Not putting the PTB on console is, again. You trying to destroy my totem? Why are these guys still like playing it out? The way they are, I would have thought they would have left like 20 years ago. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I don't know why that's an option. It shouldn't let you grab onto people when they're on their second hit like that. Because it gives you nothing, like, at all. So why is it a thing? Explain it to me. How do they all surrender? A big thing pops up on their screen, by the way, that says surrender, so... Will they do it? It's just a question. Kobe. Delicious. Fair enough. That guy Kobe too because of the luck offerings? Oh my god. What do 2 salty jar of lips do for you? How much luck is that? How does the surrender screen look? I'll show it in a video I have coming out later. I can't do it right now, but right now you see how this is down here, it says abandon. If I press Y, it'll give me this warning of everything I'll lose if I abandon the match. But once the option to surrender comes up, this will be replaced with an option that says surrender, and it'll tell me that I keep all my XP and everything, you know, but I lose my items and add-ons. And also, if I have the option to surrender, on the top right part of my screen, there'll be a button prompt that tells you that you can surrender. Where are you, Nicholas? So it's a 6% increased chance. I wonder how that plays out, because 2 people being able to Kobe is pretty wild. I think this guy's trying to get like the hatch in the PTB. Thoughts on the disaster of TCM? I'm 99% convinced that Gun has moved on to another game already. Because they just don't give a shit about it at all. It's very obvious. The disaster of TCM. I mean, the devs don't talk to people anymore at all, like ever. All their content is like horribly delayed, including the like season pass. The servers pretty much aren't even working anymore. Like, Xbox players have been crashing for like 6 months and they haven't fixed it. Yeah. Dumpster fire, really. And I'm sorry, if you give a shit about your game even in the smallest capacity, then you would did he just try to get into that chest over there? Is that what that means? He did. I think he headed in this direction afterwards too. Yeah, there he is. Get some decent information from Dominance. I never really considered the aspect of it too much. You gonna surrender? Or you gonna take it? The question. Looking like a man. People will still go next? Yeah, probably. Do you want it? Somebody's gooning. At least there's a denim outfit back, true. I can see that. I can see that you do indeed. Well, that was a nice 30-minute queue. Let's do it again. Yeah. Another ASIM down the drain. You know, I'm out of curiosity. What are the current Steam charts for TCM? It's usually around 500. But I mean, the game's in such bad shape, and it also is filled with hackers too. It's at 380, so it's still, people are still playing it more than a lot of the other games, the other ASIMs, surprisingly. There's not a lot of light left at the tunnel. It's a shame because the game has so much potential. It really does. It just, the gun is like in a developer that they love making stuff, like, and they're good at making stuff too, to be fair. They're just super passionate about going in and taking like a license and creating the most authentic video game version of it they can think of. And that's like what they do, but they're making these like asymmetrical horror games that people expect to, you know, have like a live service on, and Gun just really isn't all that interested in things they've already made. You know, they want to move on to the next thing. You can really feel that when it comes to the DLCs they create. That's where all their passion is. Like the idea of going in and changing attribute points or balancing or all these things, it's like, I think you actually, they hate it. They like actually hate it. So they hire another company to like do it, and it's just really sloppy, and I don't really know what happens there behind the scenes, but you could just tell that Gun is in no way passionate about like live balance and stuff like that. They just want to make the next DLC character, they want to make the next Rush Week, they want to make the next game. And at this point, I assume they are making another Rush Week. They're probably making another chapter as well for TCM with like a new killer and everything, or a family member. But I would be shocked if they're not working on an entirely new game, whether it's a Friday the 13th remaster or remake, or, you know, an entirely new IP. Just the way they operate as a company, that's what I would assume, because the vibe changed. They don't give a shit about DCM anymore. I mean, I will say that like every time I've played against GHOUL, I've done pretty well, but yeah, it's the PTB, right? It's like everybody is, there's no matchmaking whatsoever. It's really hard to get like a sense of the strength of things. With keyboard and mouse coming to console, they literally have no excuse to keep excluding console from endgame and pregame chat. It's been one of my biggest ones, so people can talk shit and there's no, not feel the need to DM you. Well, the odd thing is that there are chat pads for, like, I think Microsoft even has like a Microsoft brand chat pad that plugs into your controller, and it's like a mini keyboard that you can use to type on. I know like a few people used to have them, so like it's weird that the functionality is just completely not there. Like, not only can you not speak in endgame chat, but you can't even see it. Which is, I don't know. I feel like it comes from a place of like, console is a more family oriented or casual space. So they don't want console players to be able to see things that could be, I guess, toxic. I think that's kind of like where it comes from. Oh, weeb killer, I need it. It definitely is. The audio fatigue is real? Yeah, it's horrible. Right? You can literally just turn it off. Or in times of desperation, close your eyes. You see one more content pass and then send it off into the sunset? Very possible, yeah. It might depend on how well the next content pass sells. I doubt it. And the whole thing of like consoles getting keyboard and mouse is also like, it's always been one of those discussions if it's going to happen or not. So like, I wouldn't even put too much faith in that coming anytime soon, if it ever comes at all, because it creates a lot of issues that I think Microsoft and Sony probably don't want to deal with. Sony even less than Microsoft. Yeah, a lot of games have chat. Like, you, for those who don't like have a console or something, if I'm playing on Xbox, like I can still send people text messages and stuff. You just get a virtual keyboard, you know, like your phone. So yeah, they just, again, just don't have it because, I guess. Right now my last queue is 30 minutes, so we'll see. This is why they really could do what a lot of other companies do and come out with like a, it works as a separate game. So like if you were on Xbox, you would have Dead by Daylight, but you'd also have Dead by Daylight PTB. They'd be two separate games. And when the PTB was live, the PTB version would basically be the PTB that PC players are on. But when you don't want to play the PTB, you just launch the other game. That's how, like, PC is different. Like on PC, you literally change your main game over to the beta version of the game. So like right now, if I wanted to play the main game again, I'd have to log off. I'd have to like re-download the main version of the game, and then I wouldn't be able to access the PTB anymore. So yeah, console does it differently, but they do have it. Like, it's still regularly there. I sometimes play the PUBG version of their PTBs. So no worries, Ellie Mario. I said Ali Mario. I don't know why I did that. Much appreciated for growing some muttons.
Grew some muttons.
Daisy. PC wouldn't. Yeah. I don't know, but you'll ever know. Oh boy. Well. Should we maybe on here? Jaded Kratos. Much appreciated for betraying your entire community and bringing them on in here. We had a good stream, mate.
Jaded Kratos DTV just betrayed their entire community.
Alright, where is it? How does this look? A little off, right? It's not gonna work. It's a PvP game and we can't even communicate. Okay, so let's see what came and what actually hasn't come yet. So the surrender state came, right? So we got to test that. We did not get to test the gamma adjustments, I believe, correct? Don't think that that's here. Archive quests progression, deep wound, mini item pop up. Yeah, that's not here. I wish TCM would stop with their deadline dates only to miss them. I know. Like, why do they even do it? Had a fair bit of fun playing Space Marine 2 and Tokyo Ghostwire noise. Played like a little bit of Tokyo Ghostwire, but I never got a chance to play Space Marine 2 yet. How do you feel about the precedent that killers that are mostly fine, how they can just be brought back and killed if the community cries hard enough? Skull Merchant Chucky and now Zeno. It's a weird precedent. I don't know where it's coming from. Somebody is making some really terrible choices, though. Was Almo the one preventing this stuff? Like, I don't even understand. Because it's really not, like, bad. Like, they had a good run for a while where they were taking, like, the, you know, kind of like the shittier killers and making them a little bit more viable. And now all of a sudden we're getting, like, well, we don't, like, this design is moderately uninteresting to us, so now we're just gonna delete the character from the game. I don't think the Xeno changes will go through, and Chucky's been buffed again a little bit, but yeah, I don't like it. It's weird what they're doing. They're just setting themselves up for failure. Well, see, what happens is, and this goes back to the currency system idea, is that the behavior is in a position where it's like they have Swift, right? 4-man Swift, and it's really, it gives the players the potential to completely break the game. It doesn't mean that 4-man Swift is inherently broken or whatever, but it does mean that the potential is there if you have the right group of people to completely break the balance of the game. And outside of that, you get like an inherent advantage as well. So even any 4-man Swift has an advantage over whoever they're playing against. Whether they're good at the game or not is a different question, but you know, if MMR is doing its job, then the principal idea should be that 4-man Swift always has an advantage over killer. Now, what they do, behavior, is they get it caught in this like pickle, right? Where it's like they need to make the killers strong enough so that they can play against like the better 4-mans and still have like a chance. But the more they buff a killer, the more that killer dominates solo queue. So they have this huge disparity between solo queue and Swift. And the disparity is so enormous that there's no way they can ever bridge the gap. The problem is, and this really is probably the biggest problem, the DBD community, like most other content creators and people, will say, well, you can't nerf Swift. Like, you can't do it. It's not a thing that's allowed to happen. So the only thing we can do is buff solo queue to be as good as Swift or as close to Swift as possible. And that's like a lie, because you can never even get close to what Swift can do with communication and synchronizing builds and, you know, friendship and all that stuff that is just inherently so strong that solo queue, there's nothing you can do to solo queue besides give them like shotguns that is going to bridge the gap. And most of the time when you try to buff solo queue, you probably inadvertently buff Swift at the same time. It's really a hard thing to exclusively buff solo queue without making nerf the power of friendship. You're goddamn right. But it is true, right? Like, say for example, you could play solo queue with comms with 3 randoms. You're not going to have that fluidity that you would have with like your friends or people you play with all the time. You're never going to match it. So the currency system tethers that all together and like balances the game, but that's not obviously happening in reality. So what the devs do is they see, okay, we need to nerf Chucky because he's too strong for solo queue, but now he's too weak for high MMR where you're mostly playing against Swifts all the time. So now we need to buff him, and oh, now he's too strong again, so now we have to nerf him, and now he's too weak, so now we have to buff him. And it's just like they go around and around nerfing and buffing something 800 times in a row, reverting and reverting and reverting, because they can't get around this problem of how do you balance for basically 2 entirely different games at the same time. And like I said, the community just won't stop feeding into this narrative that's it's somehow possible to buff solo queue to Swift, and it's not. You have to put a restriction on Swift somehow, and I think that the currency system is the fairest way to do it for all skill levels. But you know, other people have suggested things like action speed debuffs and stuff, which I think is a little bit, it's not the direction I would go, obviously, but like, I don't know, you got to do something at some point. Yeah, like solo queues, like people are gonna hate each other even if they all have mics, like a lot of the time. Like I feel like half of my matches on TCM where people have had mics have turned into like people just screaming at each other. So it's the type of person who's gonna be in game chat anyway is probably gonna be more prone to shit talking. The like people that really don't like game chat are either gonna be talking to their friends anyway on Discord, or not, it's just not talking at all, even if they have a mic. You would minus gen speed, healing actions, and increase exhaustion timer. See, it's not that it's like completely unfair at all, but when you have these gutter players, I mean like really gutter players down in the pits of gutter tier MMR, like those action speed penalties on things like healing and gen speed, it's going to make it literally impossible for them to ever win a match again, right? And then behavior is going to see that it's making people quit the game, and they would like revert it out of panic, because like at the end of the day it's a business, so they want to try to juice people as hard as they can. The funny thing about the currency system I always love is that, you know, I'll say like, well, it only affects you if you're, you know, playing in like a Swift and you're trying to run the best perks and items in the game. If you're not doing that, then the currency system doesn't even really come into play except to give you extra blood points. So it just rewards you essentially, unless you're being like is super sweat. And like people will always say like, well, I shouldn't be like, it's what about the casual players? Like, oh no, not the casual players. They use casual players as a shield, but the currency system doesn't do anything to real casual players. It does things to fake casual players that pretend that they're casual when in reality they're like, you know, crouching as hard as they can. But real casuals don't get touched by my currency system at all. You wouldn't play DVD if there was solo queue open mic. I think a lot of people would like feel that same way, because you know you're just going to be getting flamed constantly by your teammates. So many angry, pissy people playing this game 24/7. What's up, Jack? I find Swift's tricky to deal with as killer. It gets even worse when they're the usual toxic team that teabags you and shit talks you in stream chat. Yeah, and it kind of like there's like a hidden effect of Swift that a lot of people don't realize, especially when I see clips online and stuff of people like being like, hey, look, this Swift like dominated me, and then people will be like, well, look at your gameplay is dog. But when you're getting gen rushed, the pressure is insane. Like you start to make really stupid mistakes because there's just, you're under such insane pressure to down survivors, and you know, like, oh no, if I make a single mistake I'm gonna lose the game, which obviously makes you make more mistakes. Thoughts on no mither? I mean, for the most part, I think it's like a fine perk to have in the game. It's just it's a bit awkward in Chaos Shuffle. Like maybe they just shouldn't put it in Chaos Shuffle, because it seems, even though they have like 200 perks in the game, somehow someone on your team gets no mither every single match, and I think it makes people not even want to like play the mode. Because like a single person on your team with no mither and Chaos Shuffle is like enough to lose the entire game. Did you see they're planning to remove verticality from the game, specifically from twins, which would kill them for someone like Lindsay? Yeah, really dumb, really dumb. There's, you know what? Let them try. Let them try. We will like go Dawn of the Dead on their ass so fast if they try to do something like that. The community will literally eat them alive if they try to do that. There's no shot they'd ever get away with it. That guy said it in a form, and they're breaking down the glass to like, it's over. So yeah, I think that they would regret that decision very quickly. How about for a quick fix, they give you an overall penalty if you queue with people, different percentage, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, that's sort of the same concept of the currency system, except like the currency system doesn't come for like the boring aspects of the game, like, you know, oh, gens are slower, healing is slower. It just comes after the crutches, right? So it's like you have all this inherent power being in a 4-man Swift. So now you can't use 4 meta perks. You can only use 3 meta perks, or maybe 2 meta perks if you're a 4-man Swift or something. So like it comes at you in that direction, so that you don't get the borathon aspect of it, but you still don't get to just have, you know, everything. I'd rather funny the amount of salt I get when I get played doctor. My go-to build for after is Lightborn, Starstruck, Barbecue, and Chili, and Distressing with Discipline and Strain. I occasionally get death threats for that build. People are crazy. It's funny how like the salt sometimes is like localized though. Like you get like a few days where you'll play and no one will be salty at all, and then you'll play like one night and get like 10 death threats in one night. Like, what's the correlation? The biggest shame with this game I have is none of the stuff they're doing would be necessary, because getting Gen Rush Slugged wasn't something common. Nowadays you expect it to happen. Yeah, that's skill-based matchmaking in a nutshell. It pushed the game in that direction almost immediately, because skill-based matchmaking at its core is an arms race. You know, you need nuclear deterrence every time you go into a match, so that you don't get nuked by the enemy. Like, you come in without a nuke yourself, if then the enemy brings a nuke, you just lose automatically. So yeah, it conditions you. No matter how hard you try to resist it, it does just condition you to play like a sweaty douche. Map offerings. So map offerings are supposed to get, basically, let's be honest, this kills map offerings completely. At least I think it does, but that's not in yet, so that's coming at a later date. Spawn rules. You like how they ripped apart knockout when third seal plus undying is 100 times worse? I wonder if they'll go after third seal at some point. Because I mean, it does in the end have the same, you know, thing where Swift is, I guess, 2 gets around to 2 easily, but solo queue gets destroyed by it. It might not do it though, because it's a hex. TCM, when you play 4-man victims all skip together and it's over in a flash. DBD, it's a slow demise watching your match fall apart. Just different versions of pain. I don't think we got the improved AFK bot detection, but I don't even see that. Supposedly at super low MMR, there's AFK accounts that just sit there like running in circles or something just to farm iridescent shards, and people will farm up like ridiculous amounts of iridescent shards on a bot account, and then they will sell the account to people so they can, I guess, play an account that has a bunch of blood points and iridescent shards on it. Kind of silly, but I mean, I guess whatever. We didn't get bulk blood point spending in this update, which is a shame. I would have liked to have had that for sure. The quest system we didn't get, surprisingly. And the perk loadouts and preview we didn't get either, which is just basically a little thing that'll appear here on the like right side of the screen while you're searching. Show you what your perks are that you have equipped. Nothing really that interesting. Holy moly, this matchmaking time is brutal. Wonder if it's this bad in America, or if it's just EU that's so bad. Troy, why don't you do PTB with viewers? It's bad in America as well. I mean, I did last time. I could do it again, but like if you don't have 4 people that want to join, it's a bit of a headache. So I don't know. If there were 4 people that wanted to join, though, we could do it. Well, ask chat if there's 4 people. I don't trust chat. They'd lie to me. Dogs and floods the chat. Can't play. No worries. No puppy lady yet. It confuses me how players would prefer giving up on hook, running at killer to the point at hook, go AFK or DC when rounds don't go their way. I don't mind getting slugged, camp, or tunneled. I understand that the killer's trying to apply pressure, and I kind of suck at looping. I get a good laugh out of it because it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I think it just comes from a lack of understanding. You know, people are spoon-fed this idea that killers that do all those things are basically bad at the game, and they're trying to find like a shortcut to win, which isn't necessarily always wrong, but the problem is like the higher up you go, like the better survivors you play against, the more it becomes a necessity. It's why those are the play styles of like comp DVD, right? Because once you get to like the best players versus the best players, that's just like the natural outcome of how the killer has to win the game. And people don't accept that, I guess. Much appreciated for growing some buttons. G. Dog lady is still bugged to shiz. I feel like they kind of gave up on fixing her. It's like, and not enough people are playing her. Why even bother? I really hope the 3-week delay pays off. If nothing really changes in terms of bugs, I feel like people won't be happy. It's not looking good, I'll tell you that much. This PTB is super buggy. And they're like adding a bunch of stuff, and who knows, they might want to put some of this other stuff they've talked about into the like a live release update and stuff. It's gonna be pretty hairy. Bro. It took like 40 minutes. I don't even know who I am anymore. Let's hope these guys actually want to play. I don't even mind if they're super sweats or something. I'd rather get dumpstered than not play. Where's my toxic coaching? I want more, and each episode they have to be sniffing glue harder and harder, dude. I already peaked with like the Johnny in the last video. I don't even know how to find someone who sniffs glue harder than that guy does. There might not be any glue left for anybody. 3 weeks ain't nothing, especially since this is behavior we're talking about. I know. How do you like accidentally patch such a specific thing about Oni in like an update? Like that doesn't really feel like it makes sense. It feels like they purposely did it and now they're backtracking, not gonna lie. How is the new killer? He's up there. Like he's got his weaknesses, but from like a fun perspective, he's like I would say S tier in fun. One thing that I wish more people would agree with me on is that he shouldn't be able to grab survivors that are already injured. It just doesn't, it gives you nothing. It gives them a speed boost and it stuns you. And you might say, well, just don't grab them. But the problem is that it automatically makes you grab him while you're doing his movement. So we're on an indoor map, which is going to make what I just said even harder to avoid because I have way less things I can aim at. Just random scratch marks there. That's so strange. Alright, let's see. What's this guy's play? Okay. Let's see what her play is. So normally I could catch back up with my power, but like right now I can't really because, you know, indoor map syndrome. Makes sense. Coming down. There you go. Gets her up. About. Balance. Alright, everyone's injured. Let's see what we can do. Be cool if I could have nurses on this build too. Right, they're healing. I don't think good survivors will heal against this killer. But yeah, indoor, it's funny, I don't feel like I've ever gotten so many indoor maps in my life. But yeah. I think this might be the first killer they've ever made where they shouldn't allow indoor maps to happen while you play as them. Because you literally just can't use your power like 90% of the time. So annoying. This girl's got balance. Dying is gone. This gen's hard to get into. Where are you going, Cheryl? Live. I need to get rid of these. Boo, 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 boo. No balance? But why? What the hell? Do, 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 do. Mm-hmm. Bum 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 bum. Gotta milk this match for as much as I can, guys. Ah, I got her. She makes it to that pallet, doesn't she? Why? Resilience. Oh. I can't use my power on this map. It's so much fun to not be able to use your power. Hey, balance. These add-ons kind of suck. I'm supposed to be like undetectable, but I feel like they always know I'm coming. Jeej. Monkey cannot get across map. There's no way in. I have to make sure people don't give up after waiting 40 minutes for a match, though. Like, if I hook them, they could just, like, immediately give up on hook, and then I don't even have a bot. Shit, power bugged out. You know I have Blood Warden, right? Not smart to stay there. No! Yeah, make it up. Did that just happen? Bro. It doesn't. Oh my god. Ah! Auto aim, guys. Auto aim. Went from getting a 3K to a 0K because of auto aim. You gotta love to see it. Bro, don't tell me you're still in here. You're fucking balance landing. Mindbreaker would have done a lot for me that game. The exhaustion was fucking unbearable. Like lithe into balanced into lithe into balance. Like, bro, I'm gonna have a stroke. I know it's over. I mean, it's okay that he's visible. It's just when you're on like these indoor maps, like you lose your entire mobility almost completely. Hattie was using Mate for this on top of it. What a shitter. Made for this is gonna be by far the biggest problem this killer has to deal with. Well, actually, no, it's the maps, but outside of the map offerings, it's going to be made for this. Because he's an M1 killer basically, so yeah, pain. Let me show you an example. I think if we actually get the killer, we should be playing pretty much against it 24/7. Floki, much appreciated for growing some muttons. Let's do like maybe more of a little chase oriented build here. Much appreciated. Oh no, the latest cringe lord. Hey y'all, I want to confirm the inability of the PTB Oni to flick is a bug and it's not intended. It's how have we gotten to a place where like a bug, fixing a bug was unintended. If the time ever comes that we feel we need to remove this, we would look carefully at its power overall and ensure that we'd be doing this the right way. Then I'm sorry guys, you need to add it to like controller. It's really dumb. What's up, Count? Why Dead Hard? Because he's an M1 killer, and I feel like Dead Hard is going to be the thing that you're able to use against him the most often. I'm not a big fan of finesse. I kind of don't get it. Resilience wouldn't be too bad, but yeah. So he's gonna like keep you injured pretty. You want to just rush gens while you're injured against this killer like Legion. He's literally gonna instantly injure you again. So yeah, just rush him and he'll be dead. Try to bait him at a loop. Don't try to shift W him. If you try to shift W him, it's actually going to be his strength. So we got another indoor map, bro. Behavior made the indoor map spawn more during this PTB. I swear to God they did. I haven't seen this many indoor maps in my entire life. How are you? See if he knows I'm here. I'm just gonna do a gen. I don't care. What's up, Angel? Stealth is a big mechanic of this killer, though. You could feel that. If you're like on an indoor map anyway, you definitely want to have stealth, but I mean, how the hell should you know if you're going to an indoor map or not? Bro, where are you, dog? Like, it sounds like you're literally in my mouth, but I don't see you. It's directly underneath me, huh? He's surely coming up. There's no way he doesn't have ears. Finding a gen on Midwich is such a pain in the ass. We're both injured. Do I like the terror radius, like the soundtrack, or do I like the idea that it's 40 meters? Shame. Yeah, his terror radius is 40 meters like Wesker. Wesker, Hillbilly, Blight, I think maybe? All the like high or super quick killers they gave 40-meter terror radiuses to now. Why are you guys up on the 3rd floor of the staircase? Why? Drop down, mother. Oh hell yeah, with a worthless medkit, don't worry. Oh my god, don't fatten the doorway, please. I'm gonna do a gen downstairs. Hello? Is there no gen outside? Midwich, you never cease to piss me off with your garbage gen spawns, I swear. What, since when is there a gen in here? I've never seen this generator before. Don't work there anymore. It's true. Or should they? Hysteria is gonna be good. I think that you could get a lot of potential out of like Hysteria, maybe with nurses calling or something as well. Like make him into like a high mobility stealth killer with perks. If I was on the live version and I got an indoor map with him, I would probably try to proxy camp the first person I down. Lara Croft was pissed. She surrendered. Oh, I'm gonna get it. Now what, big boy? You think you could beat me when I've gotten made for this? It's just like the Johnny picnic table situation. I'm catching up to you. Better turn around and catch me off guard. And use your power. No, stupid ass table. Got my knee stuck. Winning for us, bot. Yeah. Hey, look, he was using the same perk. I was Blood Favor. He's using my build. The hell? He's really dangerous at exit gates, this killer. Kinda cool. Like, you gotta be, like, legit scared. Please don't come through this way. I was about to 4 chaos. No, not a dumb bunny. Got the mortgage. Why would you do that, huh? Why would you do that? Huh? Oh, she got picked up. Did I even get? No, I did get no Ed. But what's the other hacks? Blood Favor still, maybe? Not too concerned with saving the bot, to be honest with you guys. I would just take the W. Well, Laura got out. No way. Do I make it, or does he snatch me with Blood Snatcher? Boop, 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 boop. Damn! Nice beach hack, Fung. Yeah, Fung. Fung. Nice. Made for this. She had a clear speed act the whole game, but sure, MFT. Feng Min Main. Dumb, don't bully me. I try to save my teammates at all cost. Definitely feels like someone who would be a hacker. Marias, much appreciated for growing some muttons. Also with. But sure, MFT. Look at MFT, MFT, MFT. Oh man, dude. When this killer like comes out, everybody's gonna be running made for this. Holy shit, it's gonna be annoying. This thumbnail feels like some weird fetish. Never know. You just never know. Alright, so let's try a little bit of interim build. Let's go back to the centipede and maybe do the tree robe. Oh, wait, no. They're gonna make this one thing base kit, so I should get used to it, right? The black goat's egg? No, not that one. This one, the apron. Alright, so let's try like a different style build. Let's do Hysteria. Nurses, maybe. Wait, no. The hell? Alright, it's literally right there. What am I doing? They're kind of lame. This perk ruins the killer's game. Yeah, because you automatically deep wound them, so... Actually, like, it hurts you because of that. It would be better if, like, if he had an add-on that didn't put survivors into deep wound, I would use it. Venom, much appreciated for growing some muttons. Can you show us the controller settings? I noticed you aren't using the shoulder buttons for some things. Oh yeah. My interactions to pick up Survivor and Vault are A. I just prefer it. Oh, also, the bumpers on controller, they're pretty flimsy and they break really fast, so for something I have to spam so much, I just prefer not to use it. I think that's it though. I don't really think I change anything else. The specific, my sensitivity on controller is 80% on Survivor and 70% on Killer. Instead of doing that, I could do something like this. And then, no, like, send me to, like, honestly, like, Red Forest or something, for the love of God. His lobby music's cool, though. I like, it's, like, pretty chill. I like it. Even though his screaming is really annoying. They changed Deathbound, right? When a survivor heals another charge, they scream and activate Deathbound. When the healer's farther than 4 meters away from the survivor, they healed, they suffer from the oblivious status effect. Does it work when they're injured? How does that work? Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Was Bubba your first main? I played him quite a bit for sure. I used Franklin's and Weave for the first time today, and the survivors gave up almost instantly. It's a fun one. I really like Franklin's and Weave still. Did you see that new Fear the Reaper game taking shots at DPD as it won't just die off as fast as the rest? Yeah, I mean, Fear the Reaper is made by a single developer. It's just like an indie dude, you know, trying to make a asymmetrical horror game, so we'll see. They've had a, I don't think, I mean, he has some aura reading add-ons, but nothing like specifically for healthy survivors. Yeah, the screaming is so obnoxious. I think people are still playing Rush Week like nobody's business, huh? Oh man, I haven't played this game on Xbox in a while. The frame rate's terrible.
Well, as the clock is turned the car. Hello? Hello?
I got the car keys and a knife. Let's go. I'm red eye. My terrible frame rate.
Hello? Yes?
No. Right, do something about it, Johnny. Yeah, this game mode only has Johnny as killer.
And the fuse box on?
Man, this is rancid.
Fuse box on? Thank you, my friend.
I don't have much to protect myself with here, so if Johnny comes out, I'm just dead. Looks like he's upstairs, so...
I hope that wasn't too loud.
I need to call non-locking
I can feel it. Okay, I've got to be quick. If someone
in.
can
Drop
hear me,
them, make the call.
we need help.
Oh, wait, he's not.
They're just trying to
He's
kill us.
outside.
We're at the circle.
It's really good.
Tried to stab him.
He's responsible.
He's pissy at him. Guys gotta keep an eye on the main thing there, not that I get into a lobby.
Don't send him. If you didn't call them yet, call them now. Call them?
Yeah, I don't think we get that. We can try.
To anyone who can hear me, we need help. You must call the police for us. We're the sorority house on Forest Street. We're being attacked.
That
Please.
Johnny's gonna rage quit. I could taste it.
Guys, yeah, I just need to survive.
This is the moment where you just lock yourself in the bathroom out of shame as Johnny. They nerfed Johnny in this game mode, and now it's just he's kind of like a loser. I never played Killer Clowns, no. It looked too kind of meh, personally. Wasn't my thing anyway.
Johnny's not moving.
Johnny's dead. Did you hear them talking? Does that work? Like I don't know if you can hear my teammates talk or not. I think Johnny went AFK. Johnny and DBD now. May as well be. I think he locked himself in the bathroom upstairs out of shame. You can't hear.
Sag's mal wieder, was soll das? Überhaupt gar nicht so wahr.
He fucking
Wie,
just
jedes Mal hab ich das gesagt. Die war
Oh, someone was getting the German. I think TCM will last longer. Or do you think it's dying? It feels like it's phasing out, but we'll see. Maybe the devs have something planned we don't know. Matchmaking time, 5,000 years later. I low-key kind of just hope that they keep doing more Rush Week maps, because I just, like, Rush Week is just more fun than the normal mode. But you like, anybody with a brain can look at Rush Week and tell you that Johnny needs buffed, but the devs just won't do it because I think either they don't care or they're too prideful. I'm not sure which one it is. Johnny DC'd. They've been so dead silent about this game. Even when they announce like their new little cosmetic packs that are coming out and stuff, they're always like, people are like, when is this cosmetic pack even coming out? And they'll always just be like, at some point it is, don't worry. At some point, when it's ready. Gotta have that open mic, guys. Gotta have that open mic. You just really do, don't ya? Don't ya? Watch it, it'll make me Johnny, and then I'll find a match on DVD. It's a talking stream. I really overestimated or underestimated the Mother of God. Gaming is cringe, guys. Gaming is cringe. People don't want to realize it or accept it, and they try to gaslight me into saying it's not true, but as you can see, it's the fucking most cringe thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like who are these babies? Like, I almost want to, like, you know how everybody's like, oh, you never would have survived the Modern Warfare 2 days. You never would have survived the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. Like, these guys wouldn't have survived the N64 days. Like, the N64 days, if you did something like that, the person next to you would bash you in the head with a controller. Like, it got physical fast. We weren't just talking about words. Like, these guys, like, people have literally no spine whatsoever at all. Like, I don't want to play Johnny. Not me. I don't like it. Meh. Alrighty. What in the world? Do. Well, I got the gutter spawned in now. A mute. I was there for the NNS. Oh, it's the Super Nintendo days? Oh god. It was hellish times. Yeah, picnic table, that son of a... Got him at the picnic table, guys. I think it's over. We just don't know who has the keys. That's the problem right now. Like, the girl running him at the picnic table is the one who has the keys. We're in a bit of a conundrum. Won't turn on. At least that. I got nothing. Ah! Wish I had a knife or something right now. He rage quit. No. This game mode is cooked, guys. It's literally cooked. Oh, why are asymmetrical game devs so dumb? I swear they're like 50% donkey DNA. This is what it like looks like when you balance your game from the bottom up, by the way, instead of the top down.
Real still don't quit.
What are we on, like a 4 DC streak or something right now? Because nobody wants to play Johnny.
Whatever I'm hearing right now.
Bro. Are you shitting me? Is Rushby dead because nobody wants to play the killer? BG1 and 2. What would that be? What was like the super hard game on Super Nintendo? I mean, every game on Super Nintendo was a nightmare, to be honest, but like, was Punch Out or something? The one where you had to like box all the people and get to Mike Tyson at the end? I always remember that being like one of the most enraging games. This guy has the audacity to just re-queue. Like he has the right. We're talking about Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. He's like, yeah, I just rage quit because I didn't want to do it. But I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna play as the victim. Should hunt that guy down. Shit on him if I'm Johnny. 3 is too easy, but can't you make 3 difficult if you want? Like, can't you set the difficulty to like everything is pain or something? And they've had like 100 updates since I played it anyway. I think they added even more difficulties.
Father, please help!
The dedication people have to playing killer is crazy, guys. Like, they're like, consider how many people are out there just.
Did you leave again? Oh, shit.
Well, that girl made a smart choice, huh? Who was that? Dan.
I
Oh,
really
Dan.
still, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
Gotta get in.
Trying to search for car keys, man. Whoever has them,
You drive? You have your driver's license?
Everybody's like rushing items.
You driving if you don't have your driver's license.
You can't have a power trip as Johnny? You'd be lucky if you can do
Oh,
anything as Johnny.
What? Bro, I didn't saw him there. They killed
Oh,
him.
we'll still know.
He came like a ghost, bro. What the fuck? That was really weird.
Oh, we'll still. I'm sorry, dude.
I just walked this track with
We have a PC Johnny now. He's probably like hacking. So only Johnny you play against is just like a hacker.
I'm for real. I'm the one who died. Yes, I'm really good.
No, that's an atrocious start. If he kills one more person, he becomes powerful.
Oh, he's inside.
Someone got the attic pole, by the way. It's the black girl with the black hair.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Heading outside now.
He's never gonna commit.
Yes. I think the attic is kind of.
Don't have a
blocked, so I'm
wrench,
not sure if you will
unfortunately,
get
so I have to
people
play
out
this
there.
really carefully.
Most of the time, it's gonna stick just one.
I know, I hate that. Speak to.
That's really weird. They still haven't patched it. Is he up now? He's outside chasing somebody. He's outside right now. To make the phone call with him. Okay.
He's got a bit of a laggy connection, doesn't he?
Don't let him trick you. Oh shit. And take the gap now.
If I had a wrench, it's gotta be so cooked.
So don't play games with him, he's gonna get you. Yeah, that's what I said. But he's gonna make the phone call now because he's in the animation.
This guy's backseating me when he died in the first 5 seconds. Like, you cowards took the wrenches and you left in the attic.
He's gonna come to you. He's gonna come straight for you, so you gotta run.
What are you doing?
Now go.
No. See, that's spray thing? It doesn't
No,
work.
not this way, not this way.
No, you
Not this way.
Dad.
Oh.
You did that all wrong. Oh.
That was funny.
Alright, I learned my lesson.
Make a second call and go ahead at there actually.
I gotta get the wrench first, so these guys don't get it. Needs to be like my ultimate goal. I always look for the car keys because I always spawn next to them, but nah, they're being wrench whores. Like as soon as the match starts, they're rushing their wrenches every time. I need to beat them there. One dude jumped out the window to get the wrench, like no joke. Oh. Looks like it's time. Bro, you got to consider how many people are playing Killer on the PTB right now and are sitting here for like an hour to play one match. Like, it's crazy. It's worse than fucking Disneyland over here to play this guy. If I would have had a wrench, I could have hit him and completely reset my stamina back to 100, and then he would have never been able to catch me ever again. But when I got to the table, I already had like 60% stamina or something, so it was really hard to like manage it. And the dude was hitting me from like 10 miles away. Alright, so the build idea here is to try to stay stealthy as much as possible and catch them off guard when they're going for heals. So we'll see how that works out. I think that this is going to be one of those killers where, because so many people are running mate for this, you need to do a mix of slugging and tunneling, or slugging and slugging and tunneling. You want to find like 1 or 2 people maybe that you hook, and then like 2 people that you just injure and slug just to keep them like out of your out of your way. But yeah, now why the hell would you back out? In honor mode's easy, eh? You can abuse the shit out of MFT and overcome. The best thing to do too is like if you're like consistently not getting hooked, or your teammates are the ones getting focused, you can always run shoulder the burden, and then shoulder the burden like has like a 70% chance to make the killer rage quit if they're like in a bad situation and you use it properly. There is not a single perk I've ever seen on the survivor side that I has given me more rage quits than Shoulder the Burden. Can you imagine being like a Swift that goes on the PTB just to automatic like instant DC when a match starts? How big of a troll move that would be? Shoulder the cringe. This is a better map. Someone used a thing to cancel my map offering, asshole. At least I got a good like spawn on this map. Usually you spawn in the middle and you have no idea which side they're on, but this time I feel like it's pretty obvious, right? Oh my god, why is it not letting me? Good effort, dog. Alright, we'll go kick this now. We'll see where they are with nowhere to hide. Oh, it's done? No. Wow, that was really greedy of you. Sprint Burst does not help you against this killer. But she did screw over my Trail of Torment, which I'm not very happy about. People tell me that add-on isn't good. Crazy. M1 killers are fun because they suck. Time machine. Bro, do you need like fucking hubris on this guy? Like, this is annoying as shit. You can see me, I have no way to mind game it here. I just kind of force my way through everything, huh? Oh my god, he has made for this and his fucking ego is disgusting. Bro, why is there like 90 pallets around this one generator? My god. Better rage quit. Better. Imagine rage quitting on the PTB. Not sure what that move was supposed to be. So if like one more person DCs, then that gives me the option to surrender as killer. And we all quit. The future of Dead by Daylight. Alright, so watch this. Let me change the screen real quick so you guys can see it. Up here in the top right corner, it says surrender. Surrender. Oh, I have to surrender. I need to edit this because they changed the chat box a little bit, but I'll probably wait till it comes to live. Okay. How does it disappear when I do that? Go next simulator. Yep, it will be. Promise you guys. Do I like the new chat box? I mean, it's easier to read, so I guess. It also tells you when people left, which is nice. Did they all leave? Yeah, they all left. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have downed Dwight there, but I was a little bit salty, so. I mean, in the end, it's the PTB. There's no DC penalty, so they could have just quit at any time, obviously, anyway. Whoa, nasty. Yeah, true. But don't you know they're adding the anti-quit mechanic? Be like mean and like send the killer to like RPD or something. But yeah, I want to see it like. Then we can do RPD. Just go AFK or something. Apparently, they're going to be able to detect everything you do. You're not going to be able to go AFK. You're not going to be able to try to get the killer to kill you without fighting back. They're going to detect. They know everything. Yeah, they know if you're trying to do any go next behavior like AFK, or run to the killer on purpose, or any of that type of stuff. They say they're going to be able to know, which sounds just horrifically ripe for failure. Because how can they know? And you also aren't allowed to give up on second stage anymore either. They'll be able to detect that. It says if you purposely miss skill checks while on the hook, you'll get penalized. So that means no giving up on second stage, because that's the only time you get skill checks. All that because it's a better option somehow than just removing the ability to like pull yourself off of hook. So weird. The killer doesn't want to go to an indoor map. That's why he ran that, I'm sure. Even on the PTB, you can't escape the sweat. Should be a pretty good map for him, though, no? Damn, Dwight. You're a real gamer, aren't you? They say they know. They have an algorithm. I'm sure it's gonna work out. Pain res, you cringe. How about your bot can go DC too? No one cares. That might just be the end of DBT. I mean, I'm sure they'll always revert it if it's horrible, but I think it's pretty much a guaranteed outcome to be horrible. There's no way they make that work right. The bots still miss skill checks constantly? Wasn't it like every 8 skill checks they miss or something stupid? Well, we're playing against Super Legion. Get your ass on the jet. Whoa, that is pissy bot behavior right there. Look at him, he's a dickhead. It's because I won't heal him, he's all pissy. Shitter bot. I mean, guys, you're gonna have the bamboozle add-on? Because of course you are, why wouldn't you? Ah, you gotta love one button does everything syndrome. The fuck are the ping on these servers? They should just start putting lockers right next to every window in the game. Holy moly, do you guys like want to heal me or something? What's up? That's incredibly inefficient. You should have just doubled up on me. Yeah, it's better. Well, Shoulder the Burden has got a worthless perk now. Let's say so. It's game's over. There's no way to win it. No, with 2 bots. The bot just like farmed that other bot. That's crazy. Should I surrender, guys? By the way, if you try to abandon, this is what it says you lose. Match progress, items and add-ons, blood points, and emblem. You will lose blood points? Oh yeah, this isn't the surrender. I'm an idiot. Yeah, this is the abandon, so... This is what it's trying to prevent you from DCing. I still think that you should have to hold the button down for like 10 seconds or something to do it. Just in case you have like an impulse rage attack. But... Damn, Dwight. You don't see me. You don't see nothing. Ah! Where's the surrender option? Why can't I surrender? It's this bullshit. I have to wait until I get down. I surrender! Do it in 2025. That's how all matches end. Watch me be petty. I don't blame you. It's rancid out there. I got my Mori on the bot. Too bad for the bot. He just leaves. He's like, screw this guy, he's a moron. They had the idea for the automatic Mori, and the reason they canceled it is for 3 reasons. They said you couldn't do slug races anymore, right? Because those are super common. Oh, and then half my matches at least end in slug races at the exit gate. They canceled it because you can't give the last survivor hatch, which is a very important part of the game. So we need to leave it in there so you can give the last survivor hatch. And the third reason was because if somebody has like Unbreakable or some kind of second chance perk, deliverance, whatever it might be, they wouldn't get a chance to use the perk if it cut straight to the Mori. So that was the idea of why they said, oh, we can't do this. But there was an obvious way around that, but I'll talk about that specifically a little bit later. I have a video scheduled to come out in an hour all about the surrender mechanic and how terrible it is for so many different reasons, and what they can do to fix it as well. It wouldn't trigger if you were the last survivor, but if all of you were slugged and you had like deliverance and got hooked, then you could use it potentially to get off the hook and reset the match. But with this mechanic, that won't work anymore, because if you have deliverance and you get put on a hook, even if you have 3 teammates, they can all surrender before you have a chance to use deliverance, because it's like solo queue and they don't know you have it. They think the game's over, so they surrender. Except they won't fix it, dude. I think they have to. I don't know if people realize how gutter it's gonna get in a few months when like every match is just gonna end like this. Like all the survivors are gonna surrender in DC, and then the killer's gonna DC. Like like every lobby's just gonna implode at the end as soon as the killer wins in like that exact second. It's gonna be so stupid. Alrighty guys, as much as I'd love to, you know, have a chance to play the killer much more, I don't think it's going to be an option until he comes to live. And then when he comes to live, as always, people are going to realize he's not nearly as good as they thought they think he is in the PTB. When it comes to like real sweaty matches, and yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad killer at all. I think he's pretty good, but he's very, very map dependent, and he's gonna struggle at high MMR for sure, especially against Swift. They're gonna punish him because they know he's an M1 killer, and they know exactly how to counterplay him, which is run MFT, don't try to shift W him, don't heal, rush gens, force him into trying to chase you at M1 loops so he has no power. And yeah, he's gonna get dumpstered, I think. That's my prediction anyway. And you would have to find such a good build to really maximize his value. But with that, I'd say I'm gonna wrap it up. Much appreciated everybody for hanging out. I got a video coming out in an hour. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, or morgen, depending on if you live in Deutschland or not. Alrighty guys, peace.